Welcome to Framework Fortune and welcome back Framework Fortune community. I'm your host Ben and we've got our co-host H&H Trader in the building tonight. How's it going, Hal?
Going good. Nice shaky market. I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely a shaky market for sure going on. So it's time for the last strip where we take a look at some of the top gainers on the day, recap any trades we took, and take a look for any trades that might be good for tomorrow. So let's not waste any more time and dive right in. The DIA SPY, all of it had a big dump this morning. Don't know if it was because of the chaos in Afghanistan or whatever, but it didn't matter. It was short-lived, and they all just pushed right back up, closing strong in after hours. So no weakness. It was looking bad for a minute, but they were able to find a footing at that 10-day and come back up.
The market only knows one direction, baby. One direction.
It's been going in one direction for so long, it's going to have to go in another direction. It's going full on 180, circling the world, and going to come back down.
First trade, AAUD.
AAUD, this was popping up in the live stream towards the end of it.
First green move up, did not catch that. That's when it was hitting my scanners into that consolidation. I wanted to consolidate a little bit more. It did kind of get going without me a little bit, but it started consolidating again. So I was like, oh, this is great. Let me go ahead and get in this consolidation. So I got in right there, nice 300 share position and got that pop. Yep.
Very nice. So about 350 up to 388, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And I went ahead and got out at the top because when I saw weakness with that share size, you don't want to be holding.
Yeah.
And so it came back down and really didn't give me a chance. It didn't really consolidate too much. It just shot back up and I didn't get back in on that second rip. And so I just watched it go and come down.
Yeah, pretty much sold off the rest of the day.
Yeah. QUMU. It's a little low floater.
Oh, okay.
And I saw it pop up on the scanner. I was like, I'm gonna try this. But I didn't see the initial run up. Or actually, did I see I might have seen it. It just didn't have the volume. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna take it. So it came down and dipped down. And it tried to get up again and found weakness up there around that little green spot right there. And then came back down, but it formed a lower low here. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get in here, 300 shares right there. And it just could not break out of there. It went up to that, I guess, the top of that last red candle, but it just couldn't break out. So that's
you mean
what
a higher low? Is that what you meant to say?
Yeah, higher low right there.
Yeah, higher low. Okay.
Did I say lower low?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry.
Okay.
I was just clarifying, just so for new traders they would know. Yeah, you want higher lows. You don't want to jump in on lower lows.
Yeah. That was a higher low form. So I went ahead and jumped in on that little consolidation. It was moving up, but just could not give me anything that I was looking for. And with 300 shares, I'm very, very quick to exit. Very quick.
This is an ugly daily chart. But it was so low. I mean, the low was 230, so it wasn't even that far from the low. Just getting a little bounce there, popping over the 10-day. But this thing's still super bearish.
Yeah, this was one of those. It was a low float, and it had the potential because it was testing for the third time going up, and it just failed.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes that happens, but I managed the risk. Only lost $14 on that 300 shares, so I'm good.
There you go.
The last one that I traded was in aftermarket, which was LMFA.
You started feeling real frisky today trading aftermarket.
Yeah, so I traded this, did not see the initial rip up because I was not at home at this rip. Then it consolidated a little bit and then had that little green pop up right there. And then this is pretty much when I got my computer back on and I saw it right here and I was like, I'm going to let it consolidate. So it consolidated and I jumped in right in the bottom of that 75 shares and then got that little ride up to the top and jumped out.
Nice. So they had earnings.
I didn't even check the news. It was an aftermarket. The only thing that I was really concerned about is it had a shelf registration on it. So I was like, all right, well, if, I kept my stop very tight on this one. So when I got in, my stop was like 590. So if it would have came down to 590, I would have been out.
Yeah.
So I was risking about 9 cents on 75 shares, which I think is okay risk.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's the way you do it, folks. On a choppy day, you scalp in and out of these stocks, keep your risk extremely low. Yep. Now let me show you how you don't do it. First, I traded FLGC. FLGC had this big pop out the gate, and you see I waited for it to pull back and then got in for the re-break of 20. So I got 30 shares at 20.27. Basically right there in the middle of this candle. Well, not the middle, but kind of towards the top. And then it shot up there to that 21.37. Looked like it was going to break out. It was testing 21 very strong. And then just started coming back down. And then right through here, when this candle popped up, I was like, uh-oh. This looks like a head and shoulders pattern. And that's a clear head and shoulders as you can get. So I tried to hold to see if it was going to break out of this head and shoulders pattern before it fully formed. But as soon as this red candle happened and it started turning red on this next candle, I was out of there.
You got in at 20.27.5?
Yeah, I got out at 18.75. So it was about a $45 loss. Losing about $1.50 a share, basically.
Yeah. I guess every time I see a bearish signal, I take profit.
Yeah,
so any red, I get antsy.
Yeah, it just was not a good trade on my part. Once again, I got like a scalper's entry and didn't take the scalper's exit, tried to hold it. And I really should have got out up here at 20.38 when this thing started looking like a head and shoulders.
Yeah.
It's because I was calling it. As soon as this candle's popped, I started saying, "Oh, this is going to be a head and shoulders pattern more than likely." So I mean, I could have got out earlier right there and actually not took a loss on it at all. So that was just kind of stupid. I mean, once I sold there, on that dump of a candle, so I had to eat that one. And then EYLM. This was another one that popped up on the scanner and started climbing up. And I got in right as soon as this consolidation started curling back up. But I market ordered in on this candle, and I wasn't looking at the spread. And it was almost $1 spread. Like, I market in expecting to get filled at like 18.10, and I got filled at 18.75, almost at the top of this candle. So that was a really dumb mistake, not looking at the spread. I don't know what happened in my brain where I didn't look at that, because I would have tried to limit order, and that was just ridiculous. So being filled up that high, it did get a push up to 19.62 and then just dumped. And you can see I got out there when it started crossing over to the downside of the 40 DMA, and then this support at 17 broke. I just jumped out of there right on 17 because I saw it start dipping. So that was a $52 loss. So just two trades where, these were scalpers entries. If I would have done what you did today and locked in at the first sign of red, I would have had a green day on these two trades. But instead, I didn't take the scalper's exit. I'm entering in the scalper's house, but then I'm staying around and hanging out, and that's not what you do. Especially, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Especially in a market like this, this is not the time to be holding stocks right now for long periods of time. So. I think I'm going to go full-fledged scalping the rest of this week because I just don't like what I'm seeing in the market so far.
I mean, you could just still use your strategy, but go in with purpose in mind. Is this a scalper's position? Yeah. Is this a hold position? And, especially with those wide spreads, ain't no way I'll be holding that all day.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't hold them all day, but that was the
long enough to get hurt.
Yeah, that was like a 45-minute hold right there, so that's too long in this type of market. Got to be smarter than that, and I was really looking to start the week off green, but I don't know, just not focused. So I'm coming back in tomorrow with a vengeance, and I'm going scalp crazy.
Don't do that.
No, never a revenge trade. But no, I am going to come back in. One of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this whole damn watch list out because this is way too many stocks every day to try to keep an eye on. So like when things are popping up, like it's too much to focus on. I think it's distracting me is my thought. And I'm not blaming completely all my bad trading on that, but it is something I think that I shouldn't have this many stocks on my watch list for the day trading we're doing. I'm going to put this down
Yes.
to 0 and only pick the stocks off of the scanners for the day, like my NASDAQ scanner and all that. And that way I've only got like 4 or 5 to look at instead of 20.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my scanner does. It narrows it down to about maybe 5. So I'm really not looking all over the market. And a lot
Yeah.
of times, the people in my chat, sometimes they get on to me. They're like, "Man, you're missing so many opportunities over here and over here and over here." And I'm like, "Bro, my scanner is set up to make me money.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, if I go looking for trouble, I will find it."
Yeah.
I think a good thing too is to start fresh every week as a day trader.
Yeah.
Because your watch list only really lasts a week, and then
Yeah.
it's like everything's either -23 or to the moon.
Yeah. I checked BTBT for shelf registration. It's got 2 of them. It had 2 of them in July. That was a trap set up from the beginning. They knew that cryptos are about to get hot again and they would get some volume in the stock market. So they didn't do just one. They did 2 shelf registrations and let it run.
I didn't even know. I didn't even check. I never traded it. So, well, I think I traded once, but it was like super small share size because it was expensive at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't care.
That's why it started going against the cryptos. When I was like, why is this going against cryptos? Cryptos are running and are hot, and BT has been running. Now all of a sudden it's not running. That's what it was. They had 2 of them things.
Yeah, NAOV was the same way with shelf registrations today. It took it forever. Now it did move up, but it took it all day long. Like a lot of just indecision and choppiness, and then the drop.
Yeah, I was watching it, but I just didn't want to get in it because just how slow it was moving.
Yeah,
It's taking forever.
Being a slow flow like that, anytime it's getting choppy like that, I always check the registrations because it's usually that's why. It shouldn't be this cheap and this low flow and moving like that.
Yeah, it should have bigger rips quicker, for sure. I don't see much else going on for tomorrow. I think the market's so choppy. Let's see how the market watch closed. Extremely choppy. Got some bright reds and some little bit of bright greens, but this is the feelings right now. This is everybody's feelings. Nobody knows. Everybody is very indecisive.
Yeah, you can just look at the big names really and see how not hot they are. Usually they're a lot more green than that.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's it for today's episode of The Last Rip. Not a whole lot going on in the markets as we see. I mean, top gainer on the NASDAQ today is MILC at 39%. Top gainer on the NYSE is even lower than that. So we're in this really, really choppy, indecisive market. Scalping strategies are going to be the way to go because you can be defensive, protect your capital with the tight stop losses, and lock them profits out as soon as you got them and you start to see red. We'll be back tomorrow. And it sounds like you'll be ready to go at 8 a.m. Central for the pre-market show. Be sure to check out both channels in the morning for live trading. And you guys have a great rest of your night. Appreciate everybody joining us as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.